Hey, Katie. Oh my God. Are we really doing this?
We are. Welcome to Higher Downloads, where two moms, entrepreneurs, and spiritual seekers are getting real about doing our best to live life in alignment.
Yeah, and by getting real, we mean the raw, unfiltered voice memo version of ourselves.
And you know what we're really obsessed with lately: higher
hmm
downloads.
You know that moment when clarity arrives seemingly from nowhere? That's it. That's the higher download from your highest self.
Exactly, because we know everyone has the ability to access their own higher downloads. So nothing is off limits here. Everything in the wheel of life, from career, spirituality, motherhood, relationships.
Yep, everything. And really through the lens of higher consciousness and joy. And we have to share our higher downloads too, right? So grab your coffee
Or your crystals, or whatever you need to have fun with us.
and get ready to tune in to your own wisdom channel because receiving higher downloads means you can live your life in HD.
Higher Downloads starts now. All right, welcome back to Higher Downloads.
Welcome back.
Higher Downloads 2026 edition.
Oh my goodness, we're in a new year.
We are. It's so good. New year on the calendar, not quite yet in the stars, right?
Chronologically, new year.
Yes.
Yep, yep.
Chronological. I do still feel like I'm still nesting for my astrological new year coming up in February. So I'm really excited. But I love this time period, solstice and
I do too, and I was actually kind of getting a little annoyed because on Instagram, I have a curated feed now that includes plenty of astrology, but people are all like, "It's the year of the horse," and I'm like, "It's not, not
oh my,
yet. It's the year, it's still the year of the snake." And in fact, it's the end part of the snake which is like really critical. The wood snake, like shedding and really that quiet calm before we can fire horse our way into it. So.
it is.
And we did a whole episode, remember, on like cold and winter and our bodies. And anyway,
That's
but we also both like are excited about goal setting in January. And so,
absolutely. I feel like yeah, the energy is definitely in line with the season for me. Like I am feeling almost ready to run. But just even too, my couples goal setting, we did 2 nights away to kind of reflect on 25 and plan a little bit for next year from like our household perspective. So that was really nice over what I'd call like Christmas break when the kids are out of school for 2 weeks and, we're juggling all the things. So that was nice starting to plan, but I still have several more kind of business planning things and life planning things to go before I have my full picture.
I really love that about you, and you have inspired me in that way. Of it's not just like a one time, it's thinking through, right? And we constantly anchor in the wheel of life. And so I think you're such a role model in that way of thinking through all the different, you did family and partnership, you're doing partnership with work, you're thinking about life and health. Is just really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I definitely, I'm a collaborator. That's definitely part of my human design. So I'm like, I want to co-create with the ideas together, not just like I come up with them and then tell you, like, this is what we're doing, or like, do you like this? It's like, let's talk through it. I really like that. So yeah, we did it. Me and my husband did it for like our life, our family, travel, health, all that fun stuff. And I did have a business planning session with my two business partners where we're like focused on the business specifically. And then my next leg is to really integrate all of that and figure out like, what does that mean for me as an individual? And like, what's my personal, tying all those pieces together, but then also like, what's my priorities and how do I put it all together?
How do I put it? Oh, I love that. Yeah, my husband and I did ours as well, and I have some more to go too. But of course, inspired by your model that we talked about in the goal setting episode.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
wait.
love it.
But you mentioned Christmas. Should
I
we talk
know.
about some things there?
Christmas. Well, there's so much to talk about Christmas. Where do we begin?
Well, you're right. There's a lot to talk about because we both have really done a deeper dive on our feelings around Christianity and religion. So, like, that came up. I also really know, like, I was way more aware of some of my triggers around these holidays. So, I operated and did things differently this year. And I know we voice memoed and you kind of similar.
Same. Yeah. Last Christmas brought up a lot of things and I was able to integrate them this Christmas. It's so hard to wait a whole year
Right.
to like go through these patterns again and see if you react the same. It's wild. But yes, same. Really
And
around gift giving and expectations and time, just the time and money involvement, energy exchange that comes with like the planning part of it for me.
yeah, can you say more? Because we didn't have an episode for Christmas last year. It's like
Yeah.
maybe what felt different this year?
Yeah, last year I came out of Christmas just I have two small kids. So I'm now in the last, 8 years, well, really 6 years because before they're two, they don't really know. Christmas, they don't really know what's up. But like now that my kids are very aware of Christmas, it's like it's kind of my and our responsibility as parents to like what kind of Christmas morning are we giving them? And I noticed a pattern in the last 2 or 3 years where I would be at my parents', which is out in the middle of nowhere. And on Christmas Eve, I'm like panicking, like, did I get everything that I needed? Are they gonna, like, I'm laying it all out and I'm like, are they gonna enjoy this? Am I giving them the magic that they want? And just that fear and like, it was just this horrible sinking feeling of like, did I do enough?
I was just gonna say, am I enough? Did I do enough? Ugh.
Brutal. And
Yep.
so this year I went into it of like, why do I feel that way? The other piece of it was just expectations on exchanging gifts of like, I still feel like I have some underlying, if I'm gifted something really extravagant and I haven't given them something extravagant, it kind of feels like uncomfortable. So it's just like that kind of anticipating other people's reactions. That's ultimately what it is. So yeah, I came out of last Christmas with lots of feelings around that, did some work on that, and came into this year really paying attention and being intentional. And I didn't walk out with those same feelings. So that felt really good.
Great job.
What about you?
Well, I also have that like, is it enough thing? And we have an only child, so that's like that's a different balancing act because then you don't want to like go too far. Yeah, I think my biggest trigger around Christmas is the expectations that are set by what I would say. I say Hallmark, and I mean Hallmark as in like not just like the company Hallmark, but like all big business, capitalism, consumerism. And I couldn't name this before, and this is still painful to say out loud, but like those commercials of families bursting in with a hot casserole and everyone's so happy to see them and they're like, and the season's greeting, it's the most wonderful time of the year. And you see the dog is in a sweater and like they're so happy to be together. I'm like, who the fuck actually experiences that? Can we curse on this podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Like, and I think that creates created some dissonance in my body of like family issues, expectations, roles we're supposed to play, all the like shoulds and all the things and like why do we back to your gift giving? Why are and am I supposed to match it? At the end of the day, are we just exchanging value at $25? Like then why are we, like I just
Absolutely.
really that was a big one for me. Performative. Performative is the word that's coming to mind. And
Mm,
I had to take a really hard look at where I was performing for Christmas in
yeah.
many, many senses of the word. And even while I was aware of it, some things still caught me off guard, but I was able to weather it in a very different way. And so one example is I have we live in Austin, and then we have family in Louisiana. It's like 6, 7 hours away. And one way I was performing is by recreating another Christmas, either before or after Christmas with more family. And that's exhausting.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
you just talked about the waking up at your parents' house. Like, can you imagine going doing a whole nother one
No, another one and driving 7 hours each way. That's a lot.
each way? And then driving home with a car full of stuff where I'm like, you just feeling, and then I'm like, oh, I have it. So, um, this year, although it was really tough because there were people I wanted to see, and some things I would have liked, the whole thing felt very performative for me. And I made a really, really tough choice to stay back in Austin when my husband and son went to visit some family. And that was tough because it's like me choosing me. Are you kidding? That's unsafe. That's not fair. What's gonna happen? The world's gonna crumble. Like, But it was really amazing. And I felt like I was really walking the walk on my true like nervous system reset and really doing what I needed to do. And honestly, my son went to bed Christmas night and he's like, Mom, this was the best Christmas of my life. And it was. It might have been of my adult life too, outside of traveling to Italy once. But like, it's because all was actually calm and bright.
That's awesome. And you think that you honoring what you needed and not going contributed to that?
1000%.
Yeah.
And that's the part of me rewiring my nervous system to feel safe in a different space because the old narrative I had was if I choose something for myself, that means other people are suffering, I'm selfish, something bad's going to happen to me, right? Like the martyr complex, the females in my family really demonstrated that. Like, so yeah. And honestly, like, I got all the presents wrapped. I went to the grocery store and acted like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. And I was like, I'm getting this snack and that snack. And like, it would just, and I did things for me and I did things for the family. And like, my neighbor just like was like, hey, I'm crafting if you want to come over. And I'm like, I can. There's no
I
one to
love
take care of. So just, yeah. And, I just as a mom and an entrepreneur and a business owner, you know that. And we know women in our
absolutely.
lives, we don't often get to choose ourselves for an extended period. And they came home and it really was like I felt a little more like that Hallmark, like, welcome home. I
That's
was like, oh,
right.
ho,
The
ho.
reciprocity. That's fantastic.
So yeah, it really felt good.
I love that. Well, it sounds like highs, but hard getting there, but highs too.
It was a
Well,
high. Yeah, yeah. Any others for you around the holidays?
oh, I feel like so much has happened. Yes, like, well, one thing is we had our higher downloads holiday party,
We
which
sure
was
did.
fantastic. And one of my favorite gifts I have right here, my crystal water bottle that has a real adventurine inside. Oh my God, it's so good.
Okay, that's a like gift giving. It can feel like a lot of pressure and it's not my love language, but I was so excited to gift that to you.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So, no, so much goodness, so much fun. Honestly, yeah, I think my biggest thing, okay, I'm pivoting a little bit. Over the Christmas break, I know I'm behind. Don't judge me, everyone. But like, I just watched the Taylor Swift End of an Era special, which didn't it come out like 6 months ago? I don't know.
No, it didn't.
Oh, it didn't?
No,
Okay.
no, you're right on time.
Oh, I thought I was way behind. Okay.
No, you did great. Yeah.
Okay, well, I binged it and I thought I was behind. But I am obsessed. At my parents, like making everybody watch it, and the kids are annoyed, and whatever. I'm like, I don't care. But like, literally, with like a frog in my throat the whole time because it was just so raw, like emotional. Like, obviously, they did a fantastic job on this documentary on like getting to your emotions and telling stories about people and all that beautiful stuff. But I feel like the last 2 weeks, I have gotten so many downloads from watching her leadership. I am literally shouting it from the rooftop in like 10 different ways. So that just felt like a really nice treat to have that space of like over the holidays and like to be binging something like that and like was not expecting to get like life downloads, business downloads, all the like literally it's informing my 2026 goals.
Same sister, same, same, same. Okay. So I am a Swiftie. We did go to the Eras tour. We're very fortunate to do that. I you kept that lump in your throat? I was sobbing. I like had a whole box of tissues. I'm like, um, yeah, and I do leadership work, and so that was the thing I couldn't unsee was like her kindness, her empathy, her individualization, and of how she hand wrote notes to people. There were really deep and beautiful stories. And then it occurred to me like these guitarist who's been with her since 2007, her building of an empire like did not happen by accident. And she never, speaking of empire, like what did you say her mom said the thing about she never said
She never said when she was a kid, like it was never about fame or money. It was always about just the passion to do the craft, the singing, the writing, the performing. And then that like that is exactly when we talk about alignment and like coming from your inner purpose and like what lights you up. It's like, it really should never be about money and not fame or notoriety or like whatever, that ego stuff. And it's so apparent. And like how much life force and energy she has to do the level of like what the 6 months of intensive training, however many miles she walked every time, and like doing the
One concert's 8 miles, and to prep, she would run to each of the songs, fast or slow, depending on it, for 3 hours. I can hardly do
and
30 minutes on the treadmill.
honestly, the like level of commitment, and that's what I'm taking away. The level of life force that she has by following her passion and being rooted in like true purpose. And then the way she's able to then bring in like the level of execution of like over delivering, really having the end user in mind. Like I'm like, there's so many principles of like how to apply this to everything in your life. Ugh.
I literally was like, I want to teach a class on just these 6 episodes. Like
There's
it was,
there need I'm sure there will be college classes about
there
this. There
has
needs
to
to be.
be. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it also really hit me over the head as like the devotion and love she has for what she does. The fame and the money and the stuff is a byproduct of that. And as we move more into the age of AI, and I love AI and I use it, don't get me wrong, but like the more people use it, the more people are starting to sound the same already. And I'm like, she's just such a reminder that like authenticity is critical. And yeah, like I've also felt like it was an invitation for me to stay devoted to what drives me and trust. We've talked about this before. Just trust that if I am aligned to my desires and aligned to what lights me up and the things that make me excited and my unique value, all the other things, not fame necessarily, like money and all the structures and things that will be because I will be so fulfilled.
Absolutely. It's like it will, and it's so obvious. I think the coolest part too, as I'm struggling with some team dynamics and some employees and all that, which I'll get into. The one thing that like lit me up about all the stories on her team is how many of the people are aligned, right? Like she has found people that have trusted when it didn't make sense, have stayed committed to their craft, even though like who knew they would ever have this opportunity, and now it makes perfect sense. So I just think about like the harmony of her plus everyone that she's brought around her. It is so epic and like not something you could write out on like a strategic business plan, right? Like the kind of dancers that she has and their stories and their
Their
backgrounds and like
stories. Oh my God.
yeah, like you could never say, I'm looking for this person and it makes sense logically, but like voila, here they are. And like it makes it better than you could have ever expected. It's so good. So I'm bringing those into all of my own design for myself on like, I want to aspire to be like the Taylor Swift of what I do. Like that. If I'm not even trying for that, then I'm not lit up. And how will I ever have the life force to like create the way I want to feel in life?
Love it. I just
I
love
love
it.
it.
I had my favorite compliment ever received professionally was a gentleman told me after a keynote, well, a keynote lab. It's like my signature offering. It's like a keynote, but includes like learning by doing. And he's like, "You're the Taylor Swift of corporate training." And I was like, but now after watching that, that feels like an even deeper. Because now I'm like, wait, I did sort of razzle dazzle on the stage, but what does it take to do behind? And actually, fun fact, I watched it, I binged it while the guys were out of town. So it was just
Ooh.
another reminder of like pouring into myself. When you pour into yourself and what you love, you can't help but ripple out like love and light and happiness and find those aligned people and dancers and
Mhm.
things. So it felt like it underscored my download from that experience too. But
That's
okay,
awesome.
well, we should move on because we could potentially just make an episode about them.
That's true. That's very true. Okay. So, End of an Era's must watch.
Must
Yes, so many lessons. Could go on and on. But good point. Lows. Okay. Downloads. Maybe not lows. Downloads. Maybe both. I guess the lows give us downloads, right? The contrast gives us so much
Hellos
energy.
always teach us. Yeah, yeah.
I think my biggest two things. I was completely taken off guard We have an employee who had a sudden medical emergency that took her completely out of work all over the holidays. And so yours truly got to step in and try to like close the gaps as much as possible and also try to navigate. And long story short, they are not able to return. So now we're hiring. So it's like all this chaos, which this was also a new
That
hire. We
you
thought,
didn't expect or want.
didn't
You
expect or
tried so
want.
hard to avoid this.
Thought I was having like the most peaceful holiday, break, whatever. Didn't, that's not exactly how it turned out. But what it is giving me my downloads on is I now see this pattern is so black and white that when something like this, right, comes up and infrastructure falls away and everything's starting to like kind of like fall apart, my instant feeling is it has to stay perfect and I'm going to have to just put hours in. I'll just stay up late a couple nights and get it all in order and take care of it. And like I am realizing that is my instinctual like control freak perfectionism person, not my like aligned highest self person. And so this has been a beautiful lesson in like how do I let go? How do I trust? Like how am I going to attract the Taylor Swift dancers on her team if I'm not Taylor Swift because I'm stepping into my like perfectionism, control freak, stress myself out phase, like not going to work. So it's
Yeah,
been a beautiful trust and lesson for me the last couple of weeks to keep going from my instant panic to like, it's going to be okay.
it is.
Lessons, lessons, lessons.
I know. So, not to keep beating the Taylor Swift thing down, but what I heard you say is like this person, couldn't be in that role, and so you fly into what feels comfortable to you, and I know that from a nervous system perspective as well. It's like, well, I can do all things. I can do it, but if you stay in doing her role, you aren't going to be able to be in your fully expressed, authentic, your best place. It's like if Taylor Swift tried to, okay, do you remember where one of her backup singers had breast cancer and had to leave?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like Taylor
Mm-hmm.
being like, okay, I can also do backup singing.
Mm-hmm. No, 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 no. Yeah. And no, I never want to stay. It's not, yeah, it's definitely not about trying to take on those roles. It's really like if there's no one to do it, like feeling like I like it still has to get done. And like that's just not reality, There's just not enough hours in the day. And like I think the other thing too is, being in a small business, it's like you're doing that dance at all times of like needing to push and do more and just be efficient and like try to keep moving towards your goals. And it's a dance. And I definitely had already found myself kind of struggling to find that balance with just taking the time for myself and putting my body first and putting my health first and like whatever. And it's like this is like a great lesson of like no matter what happens, I still have to put myself first.
Yeah, because I call it toxic resiliency. If you stayed in it and stayed in that pattern of rescuing, that's just like endurance without choice. It's
Mm-mm.
like I'm just going to keep doing it because that's what's worked in the past. So,
Yep. Yep.
all right.
So,
Well, so that's like a high. Well, it felt like a low,
yeah.
but kind of a
What a
high because
download.
you've recognized that it's.
And I think too, it was one of those things where I didn't want it to happen. I didn't expect it to happen, but now that it's happened, I'm like, you know what? We need someone in there. It's another chance. It's like, okay, what's the plus side? It's another chance to find the right fit, right? And I think it became apparent later that like it just wasn't the right fit either. So it actually worked out. So it's like the universe will give you what you need until you find your right people. So here we are.
Yep, you learned lessons along the way.
Yes.
Well, what else? Let's see. Highs and downloads. Well, I had a low that led to a download.
Nice.
Well, I
Let's
think,
hear it.
well, just like you said, right? Lows, contrast helps us know what we don't want. And I'm not celiac or anything, but I try to eat gluten free because I feel so much better on it. The inflammation, brain fog, gut issues. But it's the holidays, and so it almost just feels like this permission to just like, I'll eat whatever I want. No one's going to tell me what to do. And so I not only did I enjoy so much stuff with gluten, but like sugar, I forgot how much sugar just really crashes me. I mean, I have a family recipe for fudge and it's like delicious. But I mean, the amount of fudge I can consume is really impressive.
Can confirm it's delicious, but yeah, you have to regulate.
I know. I'm so glad you got to try some. It was one of my good batches. But yeah, I, it was like wasn't feeling great, and so I'd heard about a fasting program that you had done, a reset program, and I'm really not in the like interest of the new year lose weight baloney, which is all, don't even get me started on the scripts about women's bodies and capitalism around that. But I was just like, I know I need to feel better and I know I need to have a very different experience. And so my husband and I are both doing the Prolon fast, 5-day fast, which you have done. So
So exciting.
yeah, and so the download that's come is we have food, but it's low. The caloric intake is low enough that your body feels like you stay in ketosis and then eventually autophagy, which is the sloughing off of old cells like zombie cells, right? Oh,
Self-eating. It's called like self-eating where your body kills and cleanses the like dead zombie cells inside. Yeah. It's like cleaning house on a cellular level.
yes. And I need that true regeneration, yeah, from the inside for sure. And well, I know. I mean, I would pass any test you told me about food is energy and how you feel good on good food and all the things. But I had this very cellular level download yesterday on day 3, the lowest calories and like, ugh, was like if I could eat, right, if I could choose a different meal today, I would not choose fudge. In fact, like I don't want to see fudge for a real maybe till next Christmas. And it's like at a cellular level, I could really understand like embody the idea that food really is fuel.
Hmm.
And that at any given point in time, we have choice and agency, or at least I'm very grateful to have choice and agency to purchase different types of food. That's a privilege for many of us. But like really, truly, what I fuel my body with matters. And look, Katie, I knew that. You know that. Like we know that. But I like know it.
You
Like I
feel
don't know.
it.
Like I feel it at a
Yeah, you feel it.
cellular, truly cellular level of like, what do I really, really want? You mentioned life force a lot, right? And I was like
Yeah.
thinking for me, like how I want to be devoted to creativity this year and doing my life's work. And it's like, how in the world could I do that on fudge?
Girl, yeah, I'm so glad that you're trying Prolon. And I love to hear this because I had so many revelations the first time. Didn't know if it was like a singular experience, right? Like, is this just me or what? Did I just have these particular things? But like, I think the coolest thing that I realized that I don't know, I didn't know we're an American culture and it's just food is everywhere. And, our one thing that I came to learn through like learning more about this Prolon, it's like a fasting mimicking diet
Mhm.
it's just a diet as in just like the food that you're eating makes your body fast still, which is great. You don't have to completely water fast, which gosh, that would be so hard.
Oh,
I don't know how people do it.
no way.
But the idea that we in general in our population are overfeeding and that like that's essentially what diabetes is. Don't quote me, but like that's essentially overfeeding and having like your body not operating in the different ways like we were meant to kind of like be hungry and then go hunt for food and then you have down times when you don't have the food and then go find the food. Like we were meant to do that. And that so in the abundance of food in our world, we just have so much food all the time that our bodies never have that chance to like clean house and have that downtime. And for not having that and then doing the Prolon fast, at the end of it, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I've reset my baseline for being hungry or being full or healthy food and like how things feel. It's just so nice to kind of have that level playing field after.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it. And that's how it feels already. I'm almost all the way through. Another day left. But yeah, resetting the baseline. I think that's what I meant by it was such a low because I was like, what am I doing to myself? And I had full awareness. Like I was fully aware what I was doing, but then to feel the effects of it and to be like, in this contrast, this isn't feel like the life force, the like desire that I want to have.
Mhm.
So I've had a lot of downloads, like I mentioned about a cellular level and like the choices I want to make. I also had some spiritual downloads, have had some spiritual downloads and some really intensive dreams.
Mm.
I jokingly sent you, I don't remember if it was a voice memo or what, but I was like, no wonder Jesus had all those downloads on his 40-day fast in the desert.
Yes.
So, yeah, like, wow, just really being able to be open in that way, like really be embodied, but also be open. Yeah. So I'm grateful for the experience.
That's amazing. So cool because yeah, you're literally changing your inputs and you're changing the chemical reactions in your body and then that's changing your brain and that's changing your thoughts. Like there's just so many things that it's impacting. It's so cool. Prolon. Okay, love it. Prolon fast. Yeah, that's a big one. One of the other treats, speaking of fudge and holidays, was having you come out to, and your family come out to my parents' ranch for New Year's.
Yes, because that came bearing fudge.
I know you brought the fudge. It was so great. But it was so fun. And we had the most awesome, like, and slightly unexpected, like, fire pit full moon at the top of the hill, like, in the woods, like, experience. That was so fun.
It was so great. Like that is a high for sure. Like to kick off the new year that way and then yeah, just some really special moments. So thank you again for the invitation to your parents' beautiful ranch. I think for my family, we were so excited to kick off the new year in nature and feel that slow down. That's just such a gift, such a gift. And my one of my highs was we all went fishing
So
on New
fun.
Year's Day, on
New
January
Year's
1st.
Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and your husband is like the sweetest. He had a whole plan. He had like, fake lures, and then we was like, we're gonna go catch minnows, and then we're gonna bring the minnows. And I was like, that sounds like a lot of work, but it was
And
a
it
great,
was a lot of work,
it was a lot of work.
but it was really awesome.
It
So
was
really
so
exciting.
awesome, and it was
Yeah.
so special to be a part of the whole process and it was really good like for even I think my son but if even your daughters too like a reminder of the cycle of life how the minnow catches the bigger fish like there were so many layers and lessons and beauty and then we went out to this pond with bass and they were
Yeah.
big.
Stocked pond, which I am so glad that it was actually down the road from my parents, but like with at one of their friends' house, and they were like, "Yeah, we've got fish in there. You should go fish that pond." And we're like, "Okay," not knowing how
No.
how many fish we were gonna catch. I don't think I counted up the total. It was had to have been like 12, 13. I don't know, a lot.
Yeah, a lot and in a not a long period of
No.
time. And the best part, we might have to post some photos for people. The best part was like the sky looked like Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh's first name Vincent? Did I make that up?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
That he just like from heaven or above like painted the sky.
Oh,
It
and
was
remember the little like spot of rainbow? Like it wasn't like a full arch rainbow. It was just like in the clouds, like one little
I
spot
know.
of
I kept
rainbow.
looking for where the rest of the arch was happening and it was just like this one part where the clouds parted and the rainbow shining through. And it's toward the end of the evening and I mean just magical.
So awesome.
And I think you probably mentioned it. Someone was like, "Wow, this has to be like there's all kinds of little, wives' tales and traditions and things in different cultures around kicking off a new year." And we were talking about, wow, like to be able to have this abundant and catching fish, what does this mean for this year?
It was so profound, so cute. And everybody caught a fish, and that was great. Even at the end, and then the end was like the two biggest fish. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was really special because your husband hadn't caught one yet, and
He
then
was helping
caught
everybody else.
the biggest,
Yes.
which
Good
was
omens. Good omens for 2026.
yeah, and a good like thing for the kids too, because it was like, oh, we might finish and he's not done, but like he was persistent and he believed and he kept his line
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
water.
Okay. That was so fun when we kept talking about visualization, that like we kept talking about that. And then we'd like visualize the fish eating that worm, like how big is it? And then it'd get a bite. It was so fun. So many ways to like bake in lessons. So
Yeah, and I think that's it. Like, not only was it enjoyable, it was beautiful, it was fun to be out in nature, to be with friends, but like there was some really cool lessons that our kids got that you just can't teach in words, you
I
know?
know. And really, like that whole, and two, it's like so nice to give kids that thing of getting to fish a stocked pond where you get that really special experience of catching a lot of fish. You don't always
Yeah.
get that. So
No,
that was
no.
really fun.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. That was really special. And then you mentioned the fire pit and the full moon, and it it was like it was just so special, and I really got to appreciate and reflect during that time on okay, I'll own something. Like throughout my life, I've tried to oh wait, did you say over engineer earlier today?
I mean, we were
Overwork,
talking over deliver.
over well, I was thinking something different. But I was just saying, like, I tried to work so hard in a material, like, sense to, like, in relationships. And what felt so nice to reflect, like, with the fire and I had this moment of, like, how did I get on the top of this mountain? It wasn't quite a mountain, but, like, whatever, hill.
Yeah.
Like, how am I here on today? Like, how did this
Yeah.
happen? And to just have this gratitude for the organic nature of our friendship, our relationship, our family's relationship, and just like, I don't know, that was just really beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, that is beautiful. It was really special and easy. And yeah, not because I always talk about my husband always jokes around like, I'm like the hand of the universe always provides. And he's like, I'm the hand of the universe. It's
Yes.
like my dad was the hand of the universe and like it's like so many things, but also like that was the beautiful whole point of it all was everyone wanting everyone to appreciate the nice time.
Yeah, like I guess the point was like I didn't overly orchestrate it. Like the invitation came to Rocky Top, but even like all before that, like yeah, there wasn't any efforting, it felt like for this to come together and
Yeah.
our friendship, higher downloads felt like that too, right? Just
Mhm.
absolute flow. So we talk about all these concepts like abundance and trusting the universe for flow and mirrors and all these things. And it just felt like an integrated moment of like, wow, like a lot really can happen when you are in alignment.
That's right. When you don't force it so much and just let things unfold. The best things happen that way.
Yeah. Any other highs or downloads to share as we
I did want to share yesterday I made a choice that really stood out for me and it was a really good like reflection of like me wanting to lean into 2026 in a different way. And part of it was again, I was feeling it's been several weeks now that we've been staff members down and just like things are piling up and like there's only so much that you can do and I was kind of having this I had this opportunity. I was like my whole day was clear like in terms of like not having meetings, like I wasn't expected to be any certain place any certain time and I had like I woke up and I had this profound like oh my god, today would be a great day to just sit and grind it out and get a bunch of stuff done. I have 8 hours, my kids are going to be at school, I can just grind it out. But I was feeling very depleted and that very much came in as a should. I should do this. I could get caught up. I should do this. And then I had this like moment because I was kind of thinking like, is the second one, anyway, business partner was out of town. And I had this moment when I found out she wasn't in town. Is one of my favorite breathwork facilitators, does every Thursday morning or most every Thursday. And I had this moment. I was like, ooh, my Thursday morning is free. I'm going to go to breathwork. And like, I should go to breathwork. I have the opportunity, like should in a good way. But then I woke up that morning and was like, kind of feeling the pressure. And then I was like, you know what? Screw that. And I'm even going for a walk before. I went and I walked the trail and then I went to breath work and then I had lunch. I like literally spent a whole half day like nourishing myself that was 100% needed. And I like was just so proud of myself because that was not easy to do and I was shooting on myself in a lot of different ways, but I chose to lean into like what I needed and choosing myself first. So that was I just want to pat myself on the back and for accountability too. That is how I want to lean into 2026, putting myself first instead of like
Mm,
shooting on myself based on trying to keep everything together.
I love that phrase. Don't should all over yourself.
Mm-mm.
Um, I know. Okay, so then that happened yesterday. You instead of grinding it out for 8 hours, you spent 4.5-ish nourishing yourself. How do you feel today?
Well, amazing. And the point is, like, even in breath work and walks, I had so many downloads on, like, ooh, I want to follow up with this person. Ooh, I want to do this now. It was almost like it gave me new energy. And then today, like, even I'm doing all the admin stuff I need to do, but I'm having fun with it. It's not
And it's
feeling like
happening probably
hard.
faster and more efficient. And
100%
isn't that beautiful?
Einstein time for sure.
Yes, gosh. Uh, that is such a good bookend to my story about choosing to stay home. And we just said we were going to get on and share more about our lives and updates. We did not have a theme, but I am seeing a theme.
Tell me the theme. What's your summary?
I'm seeing nourishment. I'm
Mm.
seeing like all the things that feel hard, the like grinding, the getting through it, the whatever. We're often doing that because we're depleted or when we're depleted, but we think we should, or that's what's expected, or work is calling, or the calendar is telling me I need to do it. We're not honoring the rhythms of our bodies or our needs. But when we do, or when we have the privilege or space that we can, those other things feel so much lighter. They fall into place in a different way. The universe opens doors or gives gifts that we couldn't have done. And yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. What are you seeing?
It's I think the pattern, yeah. What are the themes? I'm just seeing that there's always a opportunity to lean into being in more alignment, being in better alignment, putting yourself first. I mean, really, putting yourself first is it. Otherwise, you're depleting yourself. And my 2026 word of the year is life force. So I'm trying to keep that life force up all the time, as best as I can, not all the time.
Oh, I love it. So we want to hear from you, community. What is going to maintain, increase, expand your life force this year?
2026, here we go.
Buckle up, baby.
You just experienced another higher download. We are so grateful you joined us on this journey.
Yep. So if you're feeling that high vibe energy and want more, subscribe wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if this episode sparks something in you, we'd be over the moon if you'd share it with someone who might need this download too.
Yep. Connect with us on Instagram at Higher Downloads, where we share more behind the scenes magic and some bonus content.
You can also find full episodes, transcripts, show notes, and resources at higherdownloads.com.
Until next time, trust your downloads and keep vibrating higher.